Hello and welcome to the Flory Models Friday Roundup Show. Here we are with you on the 19th of July 2024. Gorgeous day out there. Summer's arrived. We've got 2 days of summer. It's going to rain tomorrow, so it'll be back to normal. But anyway, got a fan on here. It's been very, very hot. Some hot shows last night, things like that. But anyway, done some good modelling. You might have heard me last week say that I wasn't going to push on too much with the actual Halifax now because I'm going to have a bit of a break from it. But I tell you, it catches you. It's like a bug. And then when it's got hold of you, it doesn't let you go very easy. Because it's not that I want to get it finished and it's out of the way. It's just I'm absolutely enjoying it to the point now where I'm getting a little bit over the top with this. And there's certain things on it I'm thinking, well, I'm just going to cut that off and readjust it and go again. For instance, just point out this wing joint down in here. There's nothing wrong with it, but in my head, it's just still not right. And every time I sort of look at photos and things, like, oh, it's got a little imperfection there. So I've popped in a little smidge of filler just down in here, just a tiniest amount, just to take care of it and all the rest of it. Trying to make it not perfect. And again, thanks to everybody who's reached out for this one, who's built one and all the rest of it. I'm sure yours will be a million times better than mine is. But what I'm just trying to do is really just bring this thing to life and to give it a bit of a feel so it will stand up from a good few feet away. It'll be, oh, that looks really nice. When you get into the geometry of this thing and everything else like that, it's horrendous. And you'll see a little bit about that a little bit later, because this wing here, I don't know what's going on with it, but it's not the right angles and shapes, and yeah, it's just completely out. But we're trying to do the best with it, and we're pushing on really, really nicely. And but we did have a little bit of a break from it this week. I've been working on some of the other things, as you can see down in here. Lots of things were going on this week. Anyway, it all started on Monday, where we had the review for the NJ22. This is the two-seater Aral, which is obviously the sort of trainer strike. Light strike aircraft that we've done. We've done the review of this before, the J22. This is obviously the two-seat version of it. And again, it's a beautiful, beautiful little kit. Just like the other one, it's got absolutely fantastic detail. You get a load of photo etch with it. The decals are really, really nice as well. Simple instructions to follow, because obviously there's quite a lot of photo etch to put in here, as you can see all the way through. It's a little gem of a kit, and I know they're a new company and they've got some big plans for the future, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those materialize over time, because if there's anything like this one, it's fantastic. Even comes with a mast set, everything you could want in a little 72nd scale kit. It really is very nice. See some very, very nice marking options as well. And again, the decals are beautifully done on this one. And you even get a nice little sheet of artwork in there. So it's a little A4 sheet. Very, very nice. Again, bung it in a frame and off you go. But as you can see, good, clean, crisp recessed details all the way over this one, and raised ones as well. Very, very nice all the way through. And again, I think for a 72nd scale kit like this, this is somewhat the benchmark of what we would expect in these days. Yes, it is somewhat limited run. So if you've ever built special hobby, things like that, there's no locating pins, but on this scale, I don't think it's a problem. Anyway, clear parts, beautiful, very, very clear. And obviously you do get the mast set along with that one as well. So anyway, if you want to go off, you can see the full review of that one. That one is up with you right now. That went up on Monday. Tuesday, forget where it says Wednesday. I'm just keeping you all on your toes, clearly. Again, in with this one, I've been sent over the last, quite a while, various paints. So I thought it was time that I have a look at them. So thank you to Expo Tools, who sent me some various bits and pieces to have a play with. And again, we were discussing the new bottles that are coming down the line now and all the rest of it. As you can see here, I'm doing a direct comparison between sort of the new Real Colours bottles, because it's the first time I've actually got my hands on some, and obviously the Atom bottles. Obviously, I'm saying about the Real Colours ones don't come with an agitator, so there's no ball bearing in it and all the rest of it. And again, I know, and I'm like you, I do like the glass ones, but I can actually understand why. The logistics of glass, because of the weight and things like that, and how much room they take up, is quite a lot. Obviously, the plastic ones don't take up as much as well. All right, so from that point of view, we were going through that, and really we was having a look at the differences between the new Real Colours and the normal ones and things like that. So we was having a bit of a play with it, looking at the paints, having a little bit. It's a mini on test, a very quick on test, if you like, as we were going through. So this is obviously the new Real Colour ones, and again, I'm just bunging this through the world's cheapest, amazing airbrush at just £20. A full airbrush with a Mac valve as well, just saying. Affiliate link is below. All right, so but anyway, it just works. It sprays beautifully, goes down very, very nicely all the way through on this one. And if I stop waffling, I'll show you. There you go, beautiful spray works well, no problem. A lot of people ask about my mixtures and stuff. As you know, I don't really go to air pressures and mixtures. I've done full videos on that, which you can see about, but roughly it's about 70%, and it's at around about 11, 12 psi on this one as well. All right. So again, finer detail, you can knock it right down to sort of 80, 90% thinners and then go through. But this is shiny plastic hard, so it's doing a little bit of blowing off down in there as well, a little bit too much air pressure. So anyway, we're going through all of those ones and the sort of, clean up and the various things with those ones. And then we had to go with the atom paints, which again, first time I've ever used the MIG Ammo atom paint. Spray really, really nice. I have no fault with it at all. I know some of you have mentioned a few little things with it, but from a straightforward just bung it in an airbrush sort of 50-50 mix with their own thinners, it performed beautifully. But again, you do have to imagine it is acrylic, it's not lacquers. You're not going to be handling it within 30 seconds, and you're certainly not going to be scraping at it and sort of chiseling at it anytime soon. So just give it a little bit of time. Then we went through the usual things, just a quick test. So we're using a little bit of IPA, pure alcohol, as a thinner, see how it reacts with it. Doesn't like it, so don't do it. And then obviously we use a little bit of lacquers as well down in here, just to see what happens to it. Because again, with it being acrylic, you can over thin, as I call it, with lacquers, and they do spray really nicely, and it does work. You do get, but really its own thinner, you can see over this side, works beautifully. But you can see how this is basically particulating and stuff like that. Doesn't really like it. Lacquers is just thickening up on the spot, as you might have expected. Then we had to go with the oil brusher paint. And again, it's one of those things, take your choice with it. If you just want to have straightforward, just open the lid and use it, then go for it. But personally, I must admit, I do prefer using the old oils, and I make it up to my ratios and things like that. All right. So, and then lovely Kareem was with us from Bravaco Modeling. They've got real troubles at the moment with some of the shipping problems, so she was discussing that. Time of doing this looks like might have cured the problem. As I say, we're here from Kareem no doubt next week. She'll come back and can tell us how they're actually getting on with it and all the rest of it. But you might know Bravaco is our European sort of co-partner with Flory Models Europe. And again, just trying to get your stuff out. It's no problem inside Europe, but them shipping outside of Europe is a few little problems at the moment. So she was talking about that, hence the t-shirt. All right, so there we go. That was down on there. Also, up on the same day, because I was on a roll, we got the new Airfix Shannon class Lifeboat 72nd scale. Beautiful little kit, this one. So the review of this one went up as well. And again, really nice. I can't fault it. I wouldn't use their paints if you paid me, but that's the usual thing. But generally the construction, the way it goes together is very nice. I did comment in the actual build, and you'll see it in a second, about some of the way it goes together. I just felt it was a little bit weird. Again, this gap down in here, you've got this sort of tooth section that drops in. You get a tiny little gap. It has been reported to me, people who've built this kit, it's actually not noticeable, so I won't worry about it too much. It was me probably overthinking it, but I still think they should have stepped it in a little bit and would have cured that problem. But anyway, really, really nice kit. Good detail all the way through. It's not a particularly part heavy count. It's a bit more of a starter set, as you can see, because being with the paints and brushes and things like that. But generally, I think it's really, really nice, and it'll build up to be something quite nice. I do intend to hang on to this one because I might put it together part of a weekend show or something else like that we might do. But there we go. If you do fancy getting one, don't forget 90% of all 90 pence, I should say, percent, they wish, of all sales do go to the RNLI as well, and the great work that they actually do. So you can get that one right now. So anyway, that went up with you on Tuesday as well. All right, and then on Wednesday, the real Wednesday, it was the actual members vlog. And so I was talking about various things that are going on at the moment, various things that are happening and going on for the actual membership. We were talking about, so obviously, some of the follow-up from the Atom Paints, where I've got the good feedback from you guys. And obviously, I was talking about the Halifax and some of the problems we're having with it and what we're having to deal with some of the engines and various things like that. All right, so that's the members exclusive one. Only members can see that one. It's around about 15 minutes. You can go off and you can see that one right now. Same day again, we had another review went up for you as well. We had the Avro Anson. This is the T21. PM models sold out of these before I even got this up. I think they sold out by last weekend because we had a load in of the different versions, but I think they've all gone now. But again, I do like Valum. I think Valum is one of those manufacturers that gets really overlooked. They bring out some good subjects and they got some really, really nice kits. So a little bit like the actual a RAL that we were looking at earlier from Latiki, it's a little bit basic, but in this scale you get away with it, and it's really, really nice. But some of the details are actually very good. Good marking options for it as well, as you can see. Some nice options down in there. Decals, yeah, a little bit of carrier film on them, but actually they work, which is nice. And again, good surface detail, recessed and raised where it's applicable, all the way over on this one. Again, no locating pins or anything else like that to worry about, but it does go together. A little bit of internal detail. Instrument panel looks good, as you can see. And again, you can see, but overall the molds are a little bit rough, shall we say. So you might need to just give them a little bit of a polish up and a look. And obviously they do like doing it in that sort of diarrhea brown, as I call it, as well. So you know you're working with those. But the engines were very nice. And generally, I think it's going to build up to be a very nice kit. My only downside is mine had as well. You get the damage on these back ends. I wish they put a sprue would run down the back to protect these a little bit. I think when they get chucked out of the actual molds and into bins and picking bins and things like that, they get dented and broken. Clear parts, admittedly a little bit thick, but honestly, I think they're absolutely fine. You'll get away with those. Those are quite nice as well. So anyway, if you do fancy doing a little Anson in 72nd scale from Vallum, you can watch the review and then you can go out and grab one because that one is up in there. Last night was a live show. Yeah, usual thing. Matt went on a rant. I was talking about the Halifax as well. We were all on last night, basically going through all the various bits and pieces. And I was talking about, obviously, some of the work that's been finished at the moment, which we'll have at the end of the show. We've got the reveal video from the Interbellum group build that's just finished. So we were talking about that. We were talking about kits and various things. The one that Nathan's working on at the moment, the little Spanish Aggressor Hornet as well for the Spanish little SIG that's going on. John was talking about very much all his bits and pieces. So that's the Brewster Buffalo, I do believe. And I didn't realise that I've raised detail either. It's quite an old kit. And then obviously we were discussing various things like the new real colour bottle splitting. I reckon it's because the top bit's too wide and it's pressing it open. And obviously answering all your questions right the way through, including how we were damaged with carbon fibre and a few other little things we were going on about in there. We were talking about the latest releases as well from Airfix. Usual thing, guys, you can catch up with all of these. They're all up there. Oh, yeah, and what to do with white top glue. We were discussing that one as well. So anyway, if you do want to members, you want to catch up with this one, it was live. It was up last night. It's obviously a recorded show now. You can go off and you can watch that one right now. Up with you today, we've got part 8 of the actual Halifax really coming together now. So I was teaching a little tip and trick with this one with styrene filler and using it like mastic. So basically you put a big blob on and then you wipe it off with your finger. Literally just wet your finger and wipe it away. Works absolutely fantastic for this one. There you go. So it works like mastic. Think of mastic, but it's great because it's pretty much seamless. And then this way you can easily sand this. It's not mastic, so you can sand this back and it's all good to go with it. So we did that on those. We had a few sink marks to deal with on the actual Bombay. So tons of filler in those to get rid of that. And then obviously we went round and tidied up some more areas I still wasn't happy with. So obviously we re-riveted and re-scribed everything, but we had some various things. So this area back in here, we took care of that and we finished that one off. And then we were looking at the engines because unfortunately the wings are just awful and they don't go very well. So we were looking at that one. Also talking about the clear parts, fitting those and obviously doing internal framework onto it. And I said before, still wasn't happy. So we used a smudge more filler just down in there just to perfect that one and get that one looking nice. But as you can see down here, I know it's a rough picture, it's a grab from the video, but you can see how the engine's pointing upwards, sort of 30 degrees up. Well, that's not right, and you can't do it. That's part of the wing. It's not that I put the nacelle on wrong. It literally is pointing upwards, look. So anyway, how to fix that? As you can see, it's well out. So actually what we were doing is going through old clear parts, so a little bit more shaping work to do down in here to make those fit perfectly, to get those ones in, and then obviously putting these in. So what we ended up doing, to be honest with you, is taking some of the engine mount bracket that I used, which we just made out of acrylic rod, and then obviously sanding it into the correct angle and then getting the cowl flaps to act as a fake, as a cheat to make these all fit. So it does look like the engines are all pointing now in the same direction and all the bits and pieces with it like that. So that's literally what we went on with. Yes, that's me in total despair. And that gets you to something like, here we go, this. So as you can see, looking pretty darn good, I must admit, although I've just managed to knock a flap. So we've got the flaps installed now, clear parts aren't clearly. We've got the radome underneath now, so that's down in here. But we have got the engines now somewhat pointing in the right direction. So they are sort of pointing forward, which was quite an issue. So as you can see, we've gone through this one, still a little bit out. I should have taken a little bit of time. This one was actually a real problem, but we managed to get this one. So we got all of them facing the right direction. Unfortunately, though, you probably see from that wing, it's an awful shape. What is going on with that? It's sort of here, and then it go there. Oh yeah, this side, pretty much okay. I tint it in. There we go. So as you can see, it's not too bad at all. What I tried to do is line these up with the tail, and then this outer bit, it goes on its own little merry way. But yeah, so anyway, there it is. So what we've actually got now is a Halifax looking like a Halifax. So this is all together now. Engines are in. I've done check with the props. It's all good. Last up for this one now literally is just to get the clear part glued on and fitted into place. So obviously we'll get that one in. Still doing a little bit of work. We've got a little bit of plasticard in here, you can see, to build up and things like that. We get that in. And then once that's done, another coat of primer, and I think then we'll be ready to chuck some paint onto this one. So next week, say, going to have a little bit of a break because I'm doing another thing. But then when we come back afterwards, we'll be getting this thing into paint and pushing on quite a lot with it. So yeah, but with all the trials and tribulations this thing's given, I still love it. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I know it seems stupid because everyone says, how can you enjoy it? Life's too short to build bad kits and all of this. Honestly, you get your teeth into it, and it's just one of those, you just want to keep going with it. It's coming together slowly, and there's setbacks all the time. It's like 3 steps forward, 1 back, but you're always progressing, and that's the nice thing to it. And again, I think I'm at that point in my life now where I'm thinking, do you know what? I need a bit more of a challenge. It's giving it in buckets, clearly, but it is coming together really, really nicely. A couple of other bits and pieces going on at the moment in the store. So over on the Flory Model store, we have now down the bottom here, the snips are in. So these are the display snips. These are the ones that I use, and all the rest of it. We've got it at 37 quid, cheaper than Amazon. So if you want to get any of these, we've limited. We've only got 9 left. Obviously, the membership have had them for a couple of weeks, so they've been ripping me out of all of them. So we have got 9 left. So if you fancy some of these, you can grab them. They are just £30.88 plus VAT, so it's 37 quid with the VAT, and you can grab one of these. These are very much down in here as well. Oh, and that's perfect timing. So down in here as well, our trays are back in stock. So we've got our very nice trays, which are these ones. So these are the metal. These are actually metal. You can put a magnet onto it and use it for screws and things as well. They're great for doing things like that. But obviously it was out of stock. These flew out last time. We only had 100 done for us, and we sold out within a weekend. So they are back in stock. They are up on the actual store now. So if you fancy grabbing one of these, not only are they great as ashtrays, as everyone points out to me, it's not an ashtray. It's not politically correct to smoke anymore. But these are good because they are solid metal. So very, very nice indeed. So if you want to get a tin tray just like this with the enamel one down in there as well, like that, hopefully it'll become a little bit of collector's item as well, like the other stuff. But what's great for it, and I use it all the time, is parts trays. I've got these parts trays, and the other one over there, I've got 2 that I use. One as a tool tray. But what's really nice, because it's black, you can see all your parts, and it keeps them all safe and all the rest of it, because usually I have them in here and things like that. But the tin tray one, I think it looks quite well. If you've got something delicate and you don't want to lose it, pop it in there, and you're good to go on that one. So yeah, very, very nice. A little bit of news for you as well. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. we've got a special live show. So you've got me and John. Everyone else is doing other things. We've got Nathan's going to Riyadh. Andy's visiting family. And, well, to be honest, Matt's busy with the unit still, sorting that out. But if you want to join us for a couple of hours tomorrow morning, live, laid back, casual, grab yourself a coffee and your model. We'll do some chatting, some modelling and various bits and pieces. You can join us for that particular show. So we'll be on with you live on YouTube and all the usual social media bits. We're obviously direct on the Flory Model site as well. If you want to come along, 10 a.m. YouTube chat will be live as well. So if you've got any questions, things like that, you can ask us on that one. Over on the PM store at the moment, we've got the sale still ongoing. So we've got some special offers down in here. So in the specials one, we've got some of my extra review samples. So if you want to grab any of those, I do take care of them. They are all sealed back up in bags and all the rest of it. So they're all down in there. The pigment jockeys, the last of those that are going. And also we're discontinuing the line of all the AK oils. So these are the washes and things like that. So it's not the actual oils themselves, it's just the washes, the bottle ones, because to be honest, they're not a very good seller. And I think most people just use oils these days and other things. So, but if you do want to grab any of those ones, you can do. They're up at a clearance price. So if you want to grab any of those, you can do right now. And also, we've also got 20% off all of the actual special hobby. We're not going to be carrying these anymore as well. So this is the last of the kits. And as you might know, a lot of this is Hasegawa reboxings. We've got the Revell Spitfire, which I feel is great. This one comes ones with the actual masks and the resin and the bits and pieces. And again, some good prices on all of these as well. So if you want to grab any of these ones, you can do right now. All right, so they are up on special. And again, we are having a clearance of those ones because we're not going to be carrying those into the new building. Plus the fact, don't forget, we've got your 25% off all your Avatar Lung pigments. And we've got the old real colours and the various bits and pieces as well on offer. And as well as obviously we've got now the new colour range as well. So again, if you want to grab any of those ones at all, you can pop along and have a look just down in there. As always, grab yourself a bargain, as we say. And that is about it for this week. I'm going to leave you now with the actual fantastic reveal video from the latest group build that finished last month, which is the Interbellum one. So basically it's anything between the wars, and there's some stunning ones down in there. And don't worry about the music. I know it's not brilliant to start with, but it's a real earworm. And by the time it's finished, you won't get it out of your head. It's awful. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that right now. So till next week, everybody, happy modelling, take care. And if you can join us on Saturday, we'd love to have you live with us at 10 o'clock as well. So until next week, happy modelling, take care.
Thank you.